Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Skeletor. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging, and here on the top, 6 and up, 30 points of articulation, Masterverse, and that nice 1980s rock explosion that even you can't really see it here on the camera because of the plastic on here, but in the backdrop there, you know, it starts there and kind of finishes out here. Nice window there showcasing some of the figure and accessories. Vintage collection, Masters of the Universe Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, MattelShop.com print, a question mark, contents, one figure, accessories, a barcode, and assortment letters and numbers. On this side, some more rocky explosion. On this side, more rocks everywhere. Then Mattel down there, and then on the back we've got some nice, very original looking artwork here. Raise the camera up so you can see it. Skeletor ruthlessly schemes to take control of Castle Grayskull and all Eternia. Master of the Universe 7-inch action figures! Exclamation point. You can collect them all, each sold separately, but there's no cross sale of it. But then we've got, you know, put the power sword in his hand, put the Havoc staff in his hand, and then Skeletor is the evil lord of destruction. Colors and decorations may vary. Got some nice rocky artwork down here. Mattel empowering generations through play. In 1982, Masters of the Universe took the world by storm with action figures that captured the imaginations of people from here to Eternia. Today, the Masterverse celebrates the original design as modern 7-inch scale action figures with the Vintage Collection. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. Here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at the smaller accessories, which is basically the extra hands. And he comes with one extra set of hands, and they're not the same, but it is stuff that we've seen in the line before. So here is a fist with some long nails on it. It's on an in and out hinge. It does have some decent molded details in it, and you can definitely tell that it's a fist. It's molded in this blue plastic. And here's like the reaching hand or the clawing hand. And again, it has pretty good molded details in it on an in and out hinge. Now here we have Skeletor's half of the sword of power, although, you know, it doesn't split in half or anything. It's whole sword, like they depicted it in the mini comics that originally came with the figures. So, but I like this mold. Same as the 40th anniversary He-Man. And I'm sure this Skeletor is the same as the I want to say it was the San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack, and, you know, that it had die-cast weapons or whatever the fact may be in that. These are, of course, not die-cast. They are plastic. But I will say it has nice molded details, and it looks really cool molded in this purple. Nice wrap on the handle. And just, you know, it's cool. An accessory that we don't get to see a lot with Skeletor anymore. Now here's his Havoc staff, and I have to say we've seen this several times now. I think every Skeletor comes with this version of the Havoc staff now, except for maybe Revolution Horde Skeletor might have come with the Revelation Skeletor Havoc staff just to kind of keep stuff in line there, but I don't remember right offhand. But this is the same one that we've gotten with every Skeletor pretty much since New Eternia Skeletor, and there's nothing wrong with it. It has lots of nice molded details in it. Look at all that down here, all that in the ram's skull and all those ridges in the horn, and just some detail down here. Not a lot going on in the shaft detail wise, and then, you know, the ball for balance at the end, although it's definitely top heavy. And so very nice looking piece. I do like this piece as well. Now let's get to the main event, talk about the figure, and take a look at that head. And I want to say we've seen this before. This may actually be the alternate head that comes with New Eternia Skeletor. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is, looking at it, because it's got that same texture detail going on here. But the paint is different, and wow. Look at those red dots in there for the eyes. It looks like it's got a little bit of a wash there on the skull to kind of help some of those details stand out, especially like down here and around the ridges and the top of the skull. And just excellent work there. Just makes this sculpt, the skull of it, stand out. And I wish they kind of use maybe a brighter red even in the eyes just to help it stand out more. But looking straight on it like this, you know, with no shadow, it's pretty easy to see, and it's quite eerie looking, in my opinion. You know, your opinion might not be the same. It may vary, like your mileage. So nice molded detail in the chest harness, and we've got, you know, the crossbones here with the jewel piece in the middle as a paint app, and then these rivets on the side, and it goes around to the back. Those are paint apps as well. Some paint apps for the rivets there at the bottom of the waist armor, crotch armor. Nothing really going on in the fur here, just black plastic. I am not 100% sure, but I do believe these, the feet and the bottom of the leg here, I think this is all new. I could be wrong, but I don't remember having seen it before. That doesn't mean they haven't done it before. I just don't remember it because, you know, I'm getting old. And so nice molded details in there, really. And then down here as well, almost kind of feathery looking. And then, of course, the three-toed foot that Skeletor was famous for back in the 80s, at least in the toy, not so much in the cartoon. And I will say mine has a little bit of an issue right here where the sword stores. The plastic didn't get taken out of it altogether, but that's not anything that's going to be hard to fix. So, oh, and I missed these rivet parts up here on the shoulder pieces as well. So very nice. It definitely gives me the nostalgias looking at this guy. He is definitely, you can tell he's based on 80s. It's that first Skeletor. So let's talk about the articulation real quick. At the head, it is on a dumbbell, but it doesn't really look up, and I guess that's due to the mold. So he doesn't really look up. He looks down that far. He's got very little chicken neck, very little waggle. He can do the full Exorcist, although it was tight. At the shoulders, he can do a 360-degree rotation there, as well as raising his arm up approximately 90 degrees. 360-degree rotation at the upper bicep. Double hinged pinless knee. Elbow. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm so confused. So, I thought I heated this up. That seems to be not really stuck, but very difficult to move. So, at the elbow, it can give you about that much bend. It's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and it gives him some hula, and he gets some rotation there. And I might have missed some paint there. There may be a little bit of overspray here in like the abs and the ribs. It's hard to tell under the lights. So he does have a straight cut at the waist. Gives him 360 degrees worth of rotation there. Let's see, did they give him the pull down hinge? They did, but it doesn't seem to. There it goes. So pull down hinge in the hips, and it's pretty tight, so just be aware of that. So with that and some outswing, he can kick his leg forward that far, back that far, and you can see there's a lot of drop down with that hinge. And oh, I didn't say how much splits. How much splits does he get? He gets all the splits. Well, almost all the splits. So let's put those hinges, hip hinges, move them back up into place. There's a cut here at the upper thigh, full 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged, pinless, I should say elbow because I said knee at the other one, but this is a knee. So double hinged, pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. Then there is a boot cut at the top of the, I don't really guess it's a boot though, is it? So shin cut, and it gives full 360 degrees worth of rotation. Then at the ankle, oh, that might have to get heated up on that side anyway. So goes back that far, goes forward slightly, and then forward facing pin for rocker, and he's got a lot of it. As far as storage, first weapons go, Havoc Staff he has to hold in his hand. His half of the power sword goes in that little strap there. And there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Vintage Collection Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction, with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe New Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor, and the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe 1987 movie Skeletor. For our last set of comparisons here, we have the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Vintage Collection Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and finally, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction, I have to say this is a very nostalgic feeling figure. It's a very good homage to that original release with updated articulation and sculpt paint and, you know, even an upgraded size, because now he's 7 inches instead of 5.5 or 5 1/4, whatever those original figures were. I can't remember. 5 and something. So I really like this, and this one to me feels much more mini comic than most other Skeletors. The only one that feels more mini comic than this one is the Skeletor that comes with the Havoc Throne, and that head sculpt is definitely like that first Filmation commercial and mini comic to me. But this one, the rest of it has that feeling as well. Not necessarily. The head sculpt is more feels more toy, but like the fact that he comes with his power sword, just it gives it that, to me, that mini comic feel. Because I didn't, once the Filmation series hit, I didn't really use the Skeletor power sword very much with Skeletor. You know, I do like that original lore where, you know, it was 2 halves of a whole, and Skeletor has 1 half and He-Man has the other half, and only by combining them together can you enter Castle Grayskull. So, you know, I thought that was very good lore to start Masters of the Universe with. But the decos on this to me look really good. I said there might have been a wash or something on the chest, but it's not. It's just the way that the light reflects on it. It kind of makes shadows in the sculpt. So I don't think there's any paint going on there. And, you know, if you have any nostalgic feelings for that original Skeletor figure, and, you know, you really didn't collect the Origins line, then, you know, this is definitely a pickup for you. But if you don't really have that nostalgic feeling for the original line and you're a Masterverse collector, this can be a pass for you. But in my opinion, I think this is a really, really good version of Skeletor. It's like the core version of Skeletor, if, you know, if that makes sense. At least, you know, to me, it is. Now, one thing I do wish that they would improve on is the Havoc staff. I wish it was just a little bit longer so that Skeletor could hold it like where he's supposed to hold it there, you know, right under where it flares out at the bottom. Hold it like that and it touch the ground. Or even if they just started giving Skeletor an up and down hinge in his wrist, that would do it too. But ideally, both is what I would really like them to do. And so I really like this figure. If you like it, I hope you had a chance to pick it up. It's going pretty high on the secondary market now. At least to me, it's high on the secondary market. So it is what it is. I'm still waiting on the Vintage Collection Zodak as well, and I can see there's going to be some reuse of this Skeletor on that figure. But honestly, I really, really wanted this Skeletor because I wanted a Skeletor to match up with my 40th anniversary Masterverse He-Man, and I think this one is going to do it. I have that set now. If, you know, for some reason Zodak doesn't come, I still have my New Eternia Zodak. And it's, you know, it fills that niche of Zodaks, but there's something to be said about that classic look too, which is basically Skeletor without the armor, and he has a different chest armor, and he comes with a ray gun and a different head, of course. And I wonder if the packaging, I didn't look at it when I ordered it, and I wonder if the packaging is just going to say Cosmic Enforcer or Evil Cosmic Enforcer or you know what. But, you know, that's for a future review. And this one, again, I really like this Skeletor. It scratches that itch of having a Skeletor that goes with my 40th anniversary He-Man. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.